All right. So you have your core curriculum sort of menu that you're working through. You know who's going to do it. You know what it's going to be recorded on. I often like to have one person serve as the host or the point person. If you think about podcast hosts or something, someone who creates some consistency um, in the conversation, in the delivery, someone who can listen for maybe what's not being said in order to redirect back, in order to not just feel like a one way offering of information. And so it's also, I find, more dynamic and brings out the humanity that people have for the new coworkers. Again, an opportunity to learn about your new coworkers, learn about their personalities, their interests. So I often like to designate one or two people to be that host, and then it helps to structure the conversation. It puts people more at ease when they're coming in to make their offering about whatever they're going to be talking about. And here's the script that I like to use and refer to. Again, this is an internal video, so really trying to lower the pressure on this one. You're talking to your coworkers, and it's kind of fun when people sort of embody that, because they're like, "Hey, welcome to the organization." It's really a conversational, inviting someone in, and less like I'm recording this thing for you to know about it. In a script, after an introduction, hi, I'm Tim. I'm so-and-so of this organization. For this video, I'm joined by so-and-so. Before we really get started, can I ask you to introduce yourself and the work that you do? And so it's really providing an opportunity to, again, maybe they know who this person is, maybe they know their title, but this is an opportunity to hear from that person how they introduce themselves, how they introduce the work that they do on the team, personally and on the team, and how it intersects with the organization. I find it's a really great grounding for these videos. Sometimes it gets kind of repetitive if you're like, all right, this person's recording 6 videos. So do we record it 6 times, or do we record it twice or once and just make sure that that's the first video? But it's a really nice way to get into the video. And then it's just asking the person to explain what the thing is. What is it? How does it work? And then what's particularly important for new people to understand or know about it? You're only trying to create videos that are like 5 to 10 minutes long. These aren't 30-minute conversations. If you start to feel like it's getting beyond maybe 15 minutes, think about how you chunk that differently. Or do we have 2 topics that are combined here? Or can we take a different approach? So what is it? Explain what paid time off is at this organization. When do you get it? Vacation, sick, holidays, leaves, whatever it is. How does it work? That and how to work might actually be a different thing, because maybe you want to use a screen share where you're showing people literally how to use the application to request time off. And then really taking a moment here to ask, all right, what's particularly important for new people to understand or know about it? This is a great question to pull in some of the data you're getting from people who just joined the organization or who have joined the organization while you're developing this, because they'll be able to reflect back. All right, so here's what's really important to know about paid time off, X, or when we have snow days or when it snows, how do we know that if the building is closed and we should come in or not? And so there's ways that you can start to incorporate that stuff into either the formal, quote unquote, formal course, or in some of the supporting materials. Then the last thing on here for the script, before I would say thank the person for their time and offering, is include some fun facts or historical highlights. Build the knowledge of the organization and excitement for the person who's working there. I know an organization that part of their history is that Steve Jobs used to use their theater for all of the new Apple launches. And so one of the things, like a historical highlight, is that on this stage, this is where Steve Jobs announced and introduced the very first iPhone. And it's like, it's a small little thing, but it just sort of brings to life the organization in a different way. And so think about like, what are those things that that you hear about? Who are the people to offer those, to just provide more information, more some interesting things that when the person goes home at night and their friends say, "Hey, how was your first day?" You're like, "You would not believe what I just learned about this place where I work. They have secret tunnels, Steve Jobs, all these different things." And so really think about, like, what are those to you and your organization?